Testing, testing. I cannot hear. Testing, testing. Okay, I cannot hear. We're gonna have to recrank this. Let me see something. Got Brother Juan Johnson in the building. Do I have Brother Juan Johnson? Testing, testing.
Testing, testing.
Okay. All right, so we got this. Brother Juan J. Johnson in the building.
Okay.
Let me see this here, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what I want to present with you all first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to share this screen before we bring the man, the myth to the floor, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is a great colleague of mine, solid brother who's always standing on two-way time. But ladies and gentlemen, I need to give you a clip of who this young man is first before we even bring it all the way to the table. Now, y'all know I normally do my traditional introduction and all this other stuff, but we're not going to do that today, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, we're going to get straight to it because I think it is necessary for this particular program. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, there he is. You got the lone wolf firearms himself, Brother Juan J. Johnson. But, ladies, before he gives you who he is, I need to give you who the man is real quick. Brother Juan, I sent you something on the shared screen here. I need to play a clip for the folks just so they understand what type of time Brother Juan J. Johnson is on. Uh, so we need to go ahead and play this clip. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a clip where we were had the pleasure of featuring my brother here, Brother Juan J. Johnson, in season one's From the Soil, and he touches on the necessity of the what he calls the great equalizer. Okay, and listen, it has been quite some time since we've seen a good amount of galvanizing Black American men who are unapologetic about their stance, particularly coming from the background that he has, being in the force for as many years as he was police officer, standing on the time that he's standing on right now. So, give you a sneak peek of who this brother is really quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Feast your eyes, Brother Juan J. Johnson. Before we let you get the mic, I gotta play the clip, brother Juan. I gotta play the clip. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Eyes on the screen. Land of the free, home of the motherfucking brave. That's a full cat.
For me, because we don't have something in place to deal with these traders, they walk around us man with impunity. Just and until we fix that.
Well, think about it. Let me ask you the question. In a system such as this, white supremacy, could there ever be a punishment mechanism implemented by Black Americans?
Well, we have to.
Because now we're looking at a situation where we gotta ultimately it's like balls to the wall on everybody now.
But why don't you tell me a little about your business and why did you decide first and foremost lone wolf? Why?
So, again, my name is Juan Johnson. I'm the founder, owner of Lone Wolf Firearms Training. It came about because I saw the need to train our people how to defend themselves. I think that you know, lone wolf symbolize basically that we're all looking for somebody to do something when actually we can do it ourselves. And for me, it's about reintroducing to the collective the Second Amendment, reintroduce you to the firearms, the very thing this country was built on, the great equalizer.
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
Yeah, so it's a reintroduction because again, we have a generation before us who was silent, and they called the silent generation for real.
mm,
You had the baby boomers,
mm.
but they sat on the sideline.
The bootleg
Yeah, they
boomers.
sat there,
Hmm.
okay, giving us advice out of fear.
That's the position.
Okay, so I take a different perspective. I say, you know what? They need to be reintroduced to the guns.
There you go, my brother Juan J. Johnson in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta stop the screen right there. That's it. Listen, brother Juan. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Listen, if we're not reintroducing them to the great equalizer, brother Juan, you know, does Black America even stand a true fighting chance against a lot of the obstacles that we face currently? Especially, we're talking about Palestinians saying, "Listen, if your silence is complicity, you're not speaking up on our behalf. You got a national threat put out there where they have waged war, saying, listen, attack those Americans, to some of the sleeper cells that are now here with us, that we don't even know who they are, obviously, right? Uh, and then of course, you got the great invasion. They're calling it a migration, a 3.0 type of time. But we have a whole bunch of a slew of different people here now, getting all the giveaways, all the the rifle positioning. Some of having a 5-star, high class, high flying lifestyle. That they've never had before, brother Juan. And you have always stood on the emphasis of protecting yourself. Do we stand a chance right now without that reintroduction, brother Juan?
Uh, that's a loaded question.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, man, that's a loaded question because I've been pushing being a responsible gun owner since 2014.
Right. Yes, sir.
I've been talking about guns and self defense since 2014, right? I became a firearm instructor in 2018
Mm,
because
mm-hmm.
I had the thought that why don't you become the thing you want to see? So I became a firearm instructor so I can teach people how to defend themselves, right?
Yes, sir.
So from 2018 up to 2024, we're talking about 6 years. From 2014 to 2024, we're talking about 10 years. It's been a decade, 4 years of encouraging people to become gun owners and gun users, and 6 years of training people. And I can clearly say, we're not ready.
Hold on. Hold on. Brother Juan, you know what? Listen, let's take it back a little bit, because that's, yeah, Black America. Uh let's make sure we have a great, thorough understanding of who this young man is. Okay. Uh Brother Juan J. Johnson, could you tell the folks about some of your experience as a former police officer, how many years you had in the game, your training, particularly? Let's start there so they get an understanding of who they're getting this information from.
So I became a member of the most prestigious police department in the United States. And that would be the Washington Metropolitan Police Department out of DC. I became a member of MPD for short in 1994. Okay. The only reason why I and I did something in his honor. So me becoming the police wasn't even on the radar. I became a police because my brother got killed. Be very clear with that.
Mm.
Okay. So, and I patrolled some of the worst areas. As a matter of fact, let me roll it back. When I came on, we were still in that crack epidemic.
Right.
Okay. From 86 to 98, one of my brothers who's retired now did a documentary called 12 Years in Hell. 12 Years in Hell. The DC crime, the DC drug uh, story. So I came in 94. And we talking about the murder capital of the years for year after year after year. Okay. So I've been through that a whole period where, you know what, you saw the drugs, you saw the cocaine, you saw the addiction, you saw um, just the homelessness, you saw the murders. I mean, we saw the shootings, and so, and I saw the despair. Okay, so when I retired, I'm saying I gave these. When I retired, well, here it is. I gave them 27 years of my life.
27.
27 years.
Yes, sir. Mm.
20, almost 3 decades. Patrolling some of the worst areas. I stayed an officer because I could do more. I felt that I could do more, and I was a little bit more connected. I didn't want to. I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to get promoted because when you get promoted, sometimes you're at the disposal of the person who decides they want you or not. You know, you can always be transferred or reassigned, but as an officer, it's kind of hard to get to move officers around unless you know, unless they got a special skill set. So I stayed uh, in those areas in DC, the Edgewoods, if you're familiar with DC, the Montanas, the Saratogas, the Ivy Cities, the 21st and Benny Road, the Little Vietnams. Okay, those areas where you know what the violence was very, 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 very big. A lot of violence, a lot of crime. I can always go to. I always knew when I went to work, I wouldn't have no less than 25 runs for service. A minimum, a minimum 25 runs for service. I'm talking about calls to come and check on the welfare, to come, man with a gun, man with a knife, woman with a knife, shooting. Okay, somebody even on these when at a embalming fluid, that love boat, you name it. Just I've seen it. So when I tell you that by me patrolling, right, and getting these calls from service, because a lot of our calls come from females. A lot of calls come from females. I saw very early that our neighborhoods were not protected. Number one, and number two, there was not enough police officers to go around for everybody.
Before
So
you keep going, Brother Juan, what do you think
uh,
drove the? You said it was a lot of calls coming from women,
mhm,
particularly.
mhm.
Why? Well, in many cases, what did you see? That was it more domestic violent kind of a thing going on? While you received most of your calls from women?
When you had domestic violence, you know, you will always get those calls of service, domestics. Um, it would be man and woman, women, women, men, men. You know, so you had You had your smorgasbord. Where you going? Because you don't know what you're going to encounter until you get there anyway. Um, but the calls to service you saw the females because there was no guys in the picture. A lot of the men were out the picture. These neighborhoods was inundated with females that was running things. They had the apartments, they had the cars. Um, you didn't see a whole lot of marriages. You saw a lot of single families, single mothers raising these children. And then you saw that the police became the surrogate men in the neighborhood. The police were the surrogates because there was no, I mean, you had generations of women with children with no males in their lives. And all these males were seeing were their mama's girlfriends, their aunties, their grandmoms. So the only males they saw were their boys because you didn't see a whole lot of men and women together per se in a marriage. You may have said some boyfriend girlfriend stuff, but where I was patrolling, you didn't see no whole lot of marriages like that. And that's why the calls for service for police was automatic because the police became the surrogate male men in these neighborhoods. I would just say probably nationwide.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, brother Juan, hmm, we call that son husbands. Uh, Ultimately, it gets to that situation because these are the populations, man, that a lot of times those areas breed that kind of environment.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, just get you just this is product of environment kind of stuff. But the driving force for you getting into police enforcement was the passing of your brother.
Yeah, he was killed by some brothers in Maryland. Uh, One of his best friends got into an argument with one of the guys around the way, and the dude threatened to come back and shoot the whole place up. He did, and he brought his boys with him, and they figured, you know what, my brother was with my brother's friend, and they figured they can't beat him, they just kill him. So that's what they did. They shot up the whole place. My brother got shot multiple times. It was the first Sunday in March, March 7th, 1993.
Wow.
But his friend, he survived. Matter of fact, his name was Henry Johnson. Peace be upon him. Uh, Henry Jr. Johnson, for the record. Matter of fact, this would be the 30th year anniversary of his passing away.
Wow, my
Yeah, yeah.
condolences, brother. Yes, yeah. You know, listen, we're dealing with a situation where 2A has never been more prevalent for our people.
Mhm.
And in your thought, brother Juan, is the threat domestic or foreign? Which one's a greater threat?
It's domestic. It's
Mm,
domestic for us anyway,
why do you say
because
that?
so when you understand the 2A, I'm gonna put it on my screen if they can see it. It says the Second Amendment states that as an American citizen, you have the individual right to arm yourself. The amendment was firmly established that the government cannot infringe on that right, right? But for centuries, black people could not arm themselves. And they get so used to it because it was it was coded in the laws that we couldn't have a gun, a club, bat, anything that can be used to uh, shoot a projectile. We talking about for centuries. It was encoded in it. So we basically that thing. I think that mindset or that code has been passed down through our generations. So when you fast forward to the 2023, people, our community, have a great problem with arming themselves. They think they don't see the need for it because they've been told or they've been persuaded that you don't need to arm yourself. You got the police. You,
Mm,
you got the National Guard. You got the sheriffs, you got the county, you got the state police. You don't need to arm yourself. Forgetting that those organizations was birthed out of plantation patrols.
Come on. Come on. Mm-hmm.
Very clear. Plantation patrols were citizens who was armed to go and check the houses of slaves for guns. And if they had guns, they would be whooped, minimum 31 stripes, and
Mm.
possibly to death.
31
That's
lashes.
yeah, 31 lashes. That's how serious this country was about having guns in the hands of Negroes back then, coloreds. You know, you wasn't really American back then. You was a Negro.
3/5.
You weren't even a freedman back then. You was a Negro. Before that, I mean, we talking about that law has been codified probably after what 1619 they have on record as being here. We're talking about probably 1632 when they made sure that no Negro, Indian, mulatto could arm themselves. Okay. And so we're talking about what? You're talking about 1619 to 1719, 100 years. 1719 to 1819 is 200 years. I mean, we're talking about it's been embedded in our genetic code not to arm ourselves.
Mm. Mm.
This is deeper than just people just don't want to protect themselves. We've been convinced that our self-preservation switch has been deactivated.
Jesus will make a way, Brother Juan, they say.
Yeah. If I hold my peace and let the Lord fight my battle, victory will be mine.
Mm.
So when I say the guns has always been here because the gun has always been the great equalizer. What
Come
does
on.
that mean? The great equalizer means this. This deal with your reproduction gland. See, black people can go anywhere in the world and have sex with the women, and that baby's coming out black.
Mm.
Okay. So how do you deal with it? How do you become equal with that? Because when the conquerors was going around the world and interacting with the natives or the indigenous people, okay, they was having sex. And when that baby came out brown or red or yellow or black. It didn't come out looking like the conqueror. It came out looking like the conquered. Let's keep it a buck in this 2024.
Come on, come with it. Then come with it, then, Brother Juan. Then, God damn it, let's come with it, baby.
So what do they do when you're raising the same people you're killing? You're birthing the same people that you're killing and enslaving. We need a great equalizer, which is the gun. Because once
What?
the gun is used, you're done.
Mm.
You can't reproduce no more. You're deleted, and your and your genes. So the great equalizer deals with extermination.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, then, Brother Juan. Like, are we ultimately looking at a time where concealed, the idea of concealed, will be obsolete? Do you see that
Absolutely,
in the foreseeable future, sir?
absolutely. It has to be. We are approaching some very dangerous times. Concealed, man. We may be looking at maybe martial law or some type of purge in the next
Mm.
couple of years,
Purge. Elaborate on that, sir.
where everything's suspended and you all for yourself. It's all about survival. We've been conditioned. We've been conditioned through movies like The Walking Dead and other Purge, or what's that movie that came out the other day, The Hunger Games, It's about survival.
That's right.
Okay, The Walking Dead is a perfect example of us. Only a few people that are conscious and cognitive, right? And the rest of the world is zombies. And you going from house to house, or from city to city, from county to county, looking for food, clothes, cars, gas for survival. At the same time, you being hunted, or you come across people who were man eating flesh.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
um, we're not too far from that, brother.
The zombies are the consumer, the cannibals, the consumers, right? Ironically, the sleep are the hungry.
Right?
Right? They are the devourers. That's some wild. That's a wild way to put it, brother Juan. To think about it, if when you really think about perception,
Mhm.
right? You know, when we're facing, we see it in real time happening now. Even
Right.
when you have individuals who speak out against certain things,
Mhm.
and they feel like they're speaking to the wall or that they're the only one in the room, right? And you oftentimes get this mob of people who then attack them because of your 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 thought, your different thought. Uh, we have a situation where self defense, right? We're talking about self defense
Right.
for our people. Um, you know, are there rules in self defense? Right? Is there a code of honor to live by or conduct yourself by when it comes to self defense, brother Juan? Do you believe in that honor amongst men when it's self defense? Because for me, when I think self defense, brother Juan, this is what comes across my mind.
Okay.
I'm hitting you with anything and everything I have
Okay.
because it's defense for me. Only reason I have to resort to any kind of self defense is because I feel like I have to defend myself from you or anything else. So, why should that be an honorable approach when you're dealing with survival? Some folks act like you got the like they're on the old battlefield back in the day where everybody line up across, brother Juan. They got the musket, they loading up, everybody saying fire. No, but we saw how that worked out, right? We saw how that
Mhm.
worked out because everybody ain't playing fair. It's
Right.
all fair, love, and war, brother Juan. All fair, love, and war. So self defense when it comes to that. What say you? All goes, or there should be some etiquette?
So I go back to the Second Amendment, where it says that you have a right as a citizen to arm yourself. I believe that, you know, when you really, really look at the Second Amendment, it it allows you to protect yourself, not just yourself, protect your family, not just your family. You may have to protect your friends, not just your friends. You may have to protect your community. You may have to protect your city. You may have to protect the county or the state because there's no such thing as a permanent friends and permanent enemies. It's permanent interests.
Come on, let's go there with that. Go
Okay.
there with that, brother Juan, because I don't think people understand what you mean by that. No permanent friends, just permanent interests.
Right.
Elaborate, sir.
Well, again, if you take the Second Amendment and expand it beyond just defending myself, when you know you can defend yourself, you good because you know you can defend yourself. But what about your family? Because whenever it happens, they coming not just for you, they coming for your family, not just for your family, your friends. And if you love the neighborhood you in, they coming for your city. And they don't stop with the city, they coming from the state. It's like a cancer. A cancer spreads. It don't stop till it takes the whole body. When I talk about the Second Amendment, I'm talking about we just may have to defend this nation, although it has wronged us in every way. But because we're still here and we have foreign enemies who want us replaced, they're not going to ask the question,
Absolutely.
um, you know, are you friend or foe? They're going to say, there's one. There's one. Get
Mm.
him.
Come on, come on. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's more broader than just me because again, because when you have a gun, and you have the guns, you have a certain etiquette and a certain discipline about you because you already got the upper hand. That's why these youngers out here with these guns, they ain't been taught how the etiquette of guns, the discipline. All they know is they get their gun and they feel powerful, which a gun does give you a little power. Okay. But again, I say it's much bigger than your individual right to protect yourself. Because again, we have foreign entities on this soil right now, waiting for the word to strike. Okay. And I think we don't think we're ready for it because for me training folks from 2018 to now, I've trained thousands, but that ain't enough.
Mm. Come on, come on. Now. See, now that's alarming. And coming out of a 27-year career police enforcement
Right.
to jumping into lwftraining.com, brother Lone Wolf Firearms. What was the turning point for you to say, hey, listen, you know what? I've done this, I've been in my field for this amount of time, but it's time for me to take it a different direction or maybe elevate what I already know, right? Uh what was the inception or the turning point to say, let's create Lone Wolf Firearms training?
The turning point again was seeing that the men fought me tooth and nail to defend themselves. The turning point was listening to ministers of the gospel, disarm their what's that? Their, the folks that followed them. And they did, and they've been doing it for years. That was the turning point with me when I realized that these folks are setting themselves up to be slaughtered. And we have to undo, well, I got to undo what the ministers have been pushing for decades. I got to inform our community, re-educate them that you have to protect yourself. Okay. Because the males, see, when the males decide that they don't want to fight to protect, we're done.
Come on, come on. Mm-hmm.
When a
Mm-hmm.
male make the decision to be castrated or emasculated, I wouldn't say make the decision, but when the male has convinced himself that I don't need this, when this country was built on the foundation of this country was built on the guns. The two pillars has always been slavery and genocide. We forget about that. I haven't forgot. I'm the most quietest, polite, courteous person I believe in the world. But I still reserve the right to defend myself and my family, my friends, and my city, and my county, my state, and this nation against those who would try to harm me or harm us. I don't see enough citizens, especially in our collective, with that fire.
Mm. Come on.
I think again, their self-preservation switch has been deactivated. They'd rather do entertainment and games and comedy and sports. But when you talk about defending yourself, defending your family, they call 911. 911 is an option. But what about you learning how to defend yourself, protect your family and your friends, protect your state? We have chaos in our neighborhoods because we don't have men on the front line shutting these youngins down. You're not seeing this type of carnage in other neighborhoods. You see it in our neighborhood. Okay. So I'm just saying we have to reevaluate how we're doing things. I'm trying to reintroduce to a collective that you need to activate your self-preservation switch. We've
Correct.
tried prevention,
You
we've
know,
tried
I'm
prevention, we've tried education, but we've never tried education. Why won't the government put a plan in place or put responsible gun owner information out to the masses? Why? Prevention, you lock them up, they get out. Well, that's enforcement. Enforcement, you lock them up, they get out. Prevention, you send the police, they speak to them in the school. Intervention, you have your court services officers checking on them, but you ain't educating. I've learned that when people are educated about guns, they're more hesitant to use them. I bought my first gun at 13, 13 14, off 58th and Blaine, for those who know DC. 58th and Blaine. 58th and Blaine was a rough area. You should sail some straight boat out there, man. They can't get me down. I was shaking out back in the days before I became police. I was shaking out.
mm-hmm,
I bought my
mm-hmm.
first revolver, you know. Because I thought I needed me some heat out there in them streets. I wasn't informed. I knew I needed me something. But I'm saying, fast forward to when I became a police officer and got trained on these guns and everything, I realized that, that's another level of restraint. Because when you know that once you pull that trigger, you can't undo what you did.
Mm.
It's
Come on.
gone. If it doesn't hit your target, it may hit something else, right? But you're still responsible for every round that come out that gun.
Every round. That's
Every round.
mm-hmm.
Because it could be excessive. You could have been justified and shoot a person, but then if you stand over and just unload, okay, so why did you do that? Why was that necessary? You'd already stopped the threat. Because I don't teach people to kill. Killing is premeditated. I say we stop the threat. And if the person expires along the way, the threat was stopped. Okay?
Hmm.
But we need education. We need education like never before. But I know why they don't want education. It may be controversial when I say it, but I'm gonna say it. They have never wanted guns in the hands of Black Americans. Period.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Juan.
And they
Don't
still
say that out loud, brother Juan.
they
Don't you
have
say that
never
out
wanted.
loud.
And look here, I'm on my Lone Wolf platform.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
on multiple platforms. And those who in this gun community, again, this is the elephant that's in the room that nobody's talking about. The elephant in the elevator nobody talks about. They never intended for us to have these guns. Never. But we here now.
Well, with that being said, brother Juan, here's what I want. I got something I sent to you. I want you to share it on the screen. And you brought up something you said something to me here.
Mhm.
And shout out to everybody that's tapped into the broadcast. Definitely like, share, and subscribe to both of our platforms. Lone Wolf Firearms, LWF Training on YouTube, on their next podcast as well. Definitely subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what Brother Juan, you brought up and you said something. You said, when it comes down to survival, right? And we get to that great exchange when it comes to the combat. They're not looking to say, hey, that's my friend. No, they're gonna say there's one over there.
That's right.
And I saw this article here. Okay. And this article says, and fair use by the Copyright Act of 1976 allowances made for fair use for learning purposes, educational purposes, fair use. Now, this article I saw as I was preparing for this broadcast with you, Brother Juan, and these Palestinians are saying, listen, join Palestine's protest or your complicity in Israel's war. You're complicit in the war with Israel, says organizers here in the United States. These are organizers here in our country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Palestinian organizers, sir. And they're essentially whistleblowing or sending a lighter version of a threat, but nonetheless still a threat. When you say you're complicit because you're not rocking with us.
Right.
Okay. And I want to read this off a little bit here because you said, again, that's sticking out to me. I wrote it down. He said, there's one right over there. And if they see us as people who've decided to really just, stick to ourselves when it comes to their issue, because it's not our issue, it's theirs.
Right.
They are now, to me, listen, Brother Juan, for me, I fear for my life.
As you should.
Okay. I'm just going to be honest about it. When you talk to me nice like that, I fear for my life. And, I come from an understanding, Brother Juan, especially when you got colleagues like yourself and say it's about reintroducing
Right.
the great equalizer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Palestinian protesters, my family, we haven't done anything to you
Right.
other than mind our business. So when
Right.
you send a blanket warning, or even to some degree, Brother Juan, a whistleblow,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because that it can be both at the same time,
Right.
right? Now I have to be concerned about my family. Right? I gotta be concerned about my loved ones. I gotta be concerned about myself because I'm not getting involved with your protest, right? So let's read on this a little bit here, because these are people who are on our soil,
Right.
and they're telling us get down or lay down. Essentially, that's what
Mm-hmm.
they're saying. So
Mm-hmm.
organizers of pro-Palestine marches have claimed that people are complicit in Israel's war if they do not attend.
Right.
Who are you talking to? Right. Let me read that one more time, Brother Juan, because
Yeah.
I want to understand who the hell they think they talking to. Who are you talking to? So organizers of pro-Palestine marches, y'all, plural, that can be all over the country. This is what we need to get an understanding about. Have claimed that people are complicit in
Mm-hmm.
Israel's war if they do not attend. Okay. Now, these marches, just like I said before, these things are happening, popping up all over the country, Black America.
Right.
And they're telling you, just because you're going about your everyday, you're not saying anything,
Right.
you're complicit in whatever is going on over there with them.
Right.
So Black America, uh, y- this shouldn't be taken lightly. Okay.
Okay.
Let me keep on going here, though. A representative of the Palestinian Forum in Britain, PA, issued the warning ahead of a global day action on January the 13th. Y'all, did you hear me? A global day,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, of action on January the 13th, 2 days before Martin Luther King's birthday, to be clear, y'all.
Mm.
Okay. In which coaches are being laid on from Birmingham as activists attempt to attract the largest march since the Israel-Hamas war began. Global, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Global. Ladies and gentlemen, January 13 is a day for you to be on your square.
Right.
That's what that means. I had to bring that up, Brother Juan, because listen, I mean, self-defense. Let's go back to it.
Okay.
Self-defense, sir. Are we hearing? If that's not a warning to be on guard, if that's not a warning to practice concealed carry, potentially, right? Because this is, again, they're calling this a global day.
Okay.
Global, right? Ammo, self-defense, firearms, 2A. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not a part of it, you are complicit, aka get down or lay down globally. Brother Juan, what do you say about what we just read here, what we're hearing here? This is listen, they're putting it in ink. I mean, for me, I'm a little like, listen, why isn't America, sending out the bird? Like, this could be a national um emergency call here. Am I overreacting, Brother Juan?
No, I don't think you're overreacting. I think that anytime you have a protest, you got to put in some measures to contain it. You got to look at all the threats. There's a lot to go into from how we officers process this whole rallies and protests. The main thing is safety. The main thing is making sure that the threats are not credible, and but every threat must be treated as credible until it's not credible. I think that look, what I see among the Hamas and Palestinians, this whole Israel piece is uh, we ain't got no dog in this fight right
Come on, come on, come on, come on with it.
now because I look at where is the support for our reparations. Everybody know
Don't
the
say that too loud, Brother Juan. Come on back with it. Come on.
everybody know the horrors of America, what they've done to my ancestors. Watch this. 1619, Jamestown. On record, they said the first slaves got here. Okay. Fast forward to 2019. That was 400 years. Just before they dropped COVID on us. And then that went away. I remember like yesterday, 2019, the whole world was talking about Black Americans. Say this again. The entire world was talking about Black Americans. Why? Because everybody knew it was the 400-year anniversary of our enslavement on this soil, according to the records.
Yes, sir.
Where was the support from the world and even uh, where was support about us getting our reparations? Where was support about us? What was support in just supporting us? And now we need to drop what we're doing because we're still trying to get that check that King said that was called insufficient funds.
Come on. Come on.
Nah, I don't see. I don't. That's not my fight. I'm against all type of violence, and it pains me to see the deaths and destruction. But we can't stop fighting for what we deserve to support you on what you think you deserve. Everybody uses Black Americans as a catalyst, as a what's this? Uh, we're always used to support their moves, their functions. The battering ram. That's what we are. We gotta have Black America on board. Why? Why? This is where was all these groups when it comes down to us getting what's due us? They're silent. Everybody in the world, everybody, including the United Nations, know that we are due reparations.
Come on with it. Come on.
Where is the Palestinians? Where are anybody saying, give these people what's due them? Give the children of the ancestors what's due them. You're not seeing it. So no, I mean, sometimes you gotta fight your own battles. I pray for you, pray with you, but that's not. I'm not. I respectfully will be on the sideline, just praying for you guys, because again, to come here and take advantages of what we built. The only reason why you can protest like you protest and have this freedom, these liberties, is because of the blood of my ancestors is in the soil.
Come on with it. Come on. Come on.
Let's keep it a buck.
And they taken from the blueprint. This is the blueprint they took. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. So my thing is, you know, fight your fight because we still fighting ours, and the fights are not even; they're not equal because we've been here longer. We're foundational Black Americans, okay? Or we are the original indigenous folks of the indigenous people of this country. You here 300-400 years, you indigenous. We're not visitors no more.
Yeah.
Okay.
300 bare minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah. The soil is you.
Yeah, you're from the soil. The bloodline is thick in the earth and above the earth.
Fertilizer.
The fertile.
Come
Yeah.
on with it. Come on with it. Like,
Fought in
listen.
every war. Fought in every war. There is no America without Black America.
Period. That's that. You know what, brother Juan?
Yeah.
Uh I got a question for you though. Going into training, right? We got first and foremost, again, it is important for y'all to share, like, subscribe, share, like, subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, both of the platforms, and definitely hit the notification bell.
Yes.
Anytime Brother Juan goes live or I go live, Chef C, on their next podcast, you will be notified.
Yes.
Okay. Here's what we have to understand, ladies and gentlemen. 27-year veteran here, okay, who then decides to take it a little further, create his own entity, Lone Wolf Firearms. And, this stage of the game, Brother Juan, I have to get a great. If there were 3 handheld guns that you would recommend people practicing their 2A, what would be those guns that you would recommend to beginners? 3 of them.
I would say the best gun that you can use is the gun that fits in your hand.
Come on.
And why I say that, because there are many guns out there, but we all have different hand sizes. And if I recommend a specific gun, and it don't fit in your hand, the last thing you want to do is be trying to manipulate this gun to work. if your finger can't reach that trigger. But I think we all should have at least one semi-automatic that fits in your hand, one revolver that fits in your hand. You should have at least one rifle, semi-automatic rifle that fits in your hand. And you should have at least a shotgun that fits in your hand. That covers all the guns.
Mm.
A certain brand, because again, you need to be out there uh, on the range shooting and you becoming one with that gun. Because you're not just buying a tool, you're buying a piece of protection that you want to use for yourself and for your family. So yes, get you a shotgun, get you a rifle, a semi-automatic rifle, get you a handgun, revolver, and get you a semi-automatic. You should have a minimum 4 guns.
Minimum.
Minimum 4 guns. Because when one run out, you say, pass me the other one. That one runs out,
Come
pass
on.
me the other one.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Because again, the handguns are for close combat. The rifles, you can get somebody long distance. Shotguns, medium distance. You get more precision with a rifle. I don't have to be close to you, like a sniper. I can hit you from a distance with a rifle. With the handguns, the velocity it drops after maybe 25 some yards. The longer the barrel, the longer the round will travel. The shorter the barrel, the shorter the round will travel. So yes, I say you should have a minimum of 4 guns in your possession. And I mean that. Minimum. Revolver, semi-automatic handgun, semi-automatic rifle, and a shotgun. Minimum.
Excellent, brother Juan. Listen, so that's what you said. Also, I was writing that down. You said the shorter the barrel, the less or the least the
The shorter
distance.
distance, yes. The
Okay, and
longer
longer the
the
further.
distance, yes. That's why
Okay.
a sniper can hit somebody for miles because of the long barrel and the ammo that he uses. All ammo's not the same. You got that training ammo, which is still serve a purpose. Then you got that special ammo. Without going into details about the ammo, but it's not all the same. But again, if you don't have the special ammo, what you do have it'll do is it'll serve its purpose. It will still stop the threat.
Phenomenal. I'm glad you shared that information with me, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't know that, I didn't know it. I'm here to tell you. I'm glad that we're having this conversation. Uh, you know, two-way ultimately is seeing a foreseeable future for me to become the norm. Concealed carry, I think that's going to be obsolete. The whole concealed idea. Ammo at a bare minimum, brother Juan. How much ammo should you have in your possession?
Thousands of rounds. Thousands of rounds. You can go through a 50, most ammo, a lot of your ammo for your 9 millimeters come in 50 round boxes, depending on the quality and the grade of the ammo. When you start talking about your rifles, you may get maybe a 10 round box or 20 round box. Talking about shotguns, you may get a 20, 25 round box. So I'm saying you need thousands of rounds
Yes, sir.
for each gun. So if you got a revolver, get you 1,000 rounds for your revolver. You got your semi-automatic, get you 1,000 rounds. You got a shotgun, get you 1,000 rounds. You got a rifle, go and get you 1,000 rounds. Why not?
It's my understanding, brother Juan. Correct me if I'm wrong. that the best defense for the home uh, would be any gun, but the preferred one, I mean, at least my understanding, they're saying is a shotty. Do you agree with that?
So it all depends on entry points, clearing, and you got to take in consideration the noise. The noise is this: once you decide to defend your home and you're on the inside, 9 times out of 10, if you don't have a silencer on, then you're going to get them ringy ears. Meaning, once you pull that trigger, boom, you have nothing to release the sound from these guns. And you'll probably be discombobulated. See, we watch these television shows. That's television.
Come on.
If
There
we
you
go
go.
full range, you will see that you have to wear ear muffles, earphones for a reason. Because the sound is condensed. But when you're outside shooting, it you stand a better chance of not hurting your ears. So imagine you defending your house and you shoot the gun in your house. You're gonna be affected in your ears. You're gonna be discombobulated. Okay. They don't talk about that.
Not at all. That's why I'm like, that's an excellent fucking point. That is an excellent point, brother Juan, because I mean, I go to the range, and when that thing go off, it's the ringing, and we got to think about how sound waves work and how it bounces off of shit
Yeah,
and kind of back to you, so it can make you disoriented. It truly can,
yeah,
if you don't have that interceptor, which is the earplugs.
right.
So, even in the situation now that you bring that to the, to full light for us, not only are you grabbing to protect, but you might have to just take a little extra second, y'all, to get them earpieces if you got that shotty to the body ready to go. Cause all it takes is for you to become disoriented and they'll get the upper hand.
If you shoot that shotgun and rifles inside your house, your pictures, your certificates are coming off the wall.
Come on.
Keep the buck. Once you shoot that gun in the house, it's not like being outside where outside can absorb it. That house, everything in there is coming off the walls, man. And you will be discombobulated.
TV, TV, TV got folks thinking they John Wick out here, brother Juan. They got they got cats thinking they 007. Shit out here. Nobody even thought about it. Nobody thinks about that kind of stuff. They just like, listen, I'm gonna go. So even like Glocks, a lot of times I've done a Glock is pretty damn loud.
Glock is loud. Again, if you don't have a silencer on your guns, and if you're using maybe like a 22 smaller caliber long range, uh, that don't have the same recoil and it don't have the same noise. But when you start going to your 38s, your 9s, your 40 cals, your 45 calibers, your shotguns, you can guarantee, bro. If you've ever gone to the range, when they start boom, 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 and you got earphones on, you got earplugs. Imagine that at your house.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Ceiling fans coming down and every damn thing.
And you don't have soundproof walls like that in your house.
Well, I will say this, brother Juan. I mean, you got me really thinking about how I protect it now, how I should, how I should not whether I shouldn't protect, but how I'm gonna do it, right? If necessary, right? Because I mean, listen, for Black America, I don't mean to put this on everybody, but I'll
Right.
put it on a select few of us. Most of us constantly fear for our lives,
Right.
Brother Juan. I'm in constant fear for my life, Brother Juan.
Okay. I want to
Just
be there.
hey, living while black. Okay, LWB. Okay, and listen, we're the only people who
Mhm.
have to have the conversation, right? The
Right.
We're the only people who get nervous
Right.
when you see them sirens or them lights behind you. Even you know what's happening even now?
What's
It's
that?
not even so much the lights. It's just the vehicle.
Again, I think that in our DNA, that fear was passed down through our DNA. It's been decoded in our DNA. I think that we don't really think about that, that our DNA has been changed because of slavery. So we get apprehension just seeing the car behind us. He ain't got to have no lights on. Just you see him, you get anxiety. That's no more than our forefathers seeing just a typical white person on the street and wondering if they would have to do some type of act of degeneracy because every white person was on code that if you saw somebody of my complexion, they had to do what you said do or risk being whooped or beaten. And that's been passed down from generation to generation, and it's in our DNA, that fear, that anxiety. So it's again, we haven't dealt with the psychological traumas. People expect us just to get over that like nothing ever happened, but support their struggles, their plights. No, no, we have some real psychological issues we need to deal with. There's some stuff in our DNA that we need to deal with.
You know,
So
Brother Juan, I want to share something with you.
go ahead.
Right? Let's go ahead. Let me get this screen share going again. I got something because I like to educate when I'm doing a program, and we got a police officer here himself, but I think it's necessary that the folks are made aware of there's a real trauma associated with cops
Right,
connected to our people, specifically for our people, folks,
right.
called capiophobia.
Hmm.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Hmm.
And, just so you all made aware, this has been something, again, that alludes to what I just said as far as the conversation, the talk that we
Right.
have to have. Brother Juan touched on the fact that we have genetic fears,
Hmm.
inherited fears passed on to us. And that comes from way, but let's read on this a touch here, ladies and gentlemen. Copiophobia, rooted in Latin and Greek, the term copiophobia captures the fear of arrest.
Mm.
This dread could be the outcome of a past adverse experiences, okay, involving arrest or detainment or overarching anxiety disorder that includes fear of
Mhm.
authority figures or societal narratives and stigma related to law enforcement and criminal justice, y'all. That's some facts for your ass, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
Unfortunately.
let me go a little deeper.
Let's go with it, sir. Yes, sir.
Unbeknownst to a lot of people, I was during my 10 years of police, I was mistaken for a drug boy. And I was assaulted by police officers. Okay.
I was waiting for you. I wasn't gonna go there unless you wanted to, sir. There
But
you go. Let's do it,
I
brother.
won't, I won't say the
Go with
whole
it.
story, but I'll say this. I dealt with that capophobia. I was afraid of the police. When I saw sirens or the car behind me, I was afraid and I sped up and I was the police afraid.
Hold on. I can't let that glaze over.
Go ahead.
Are you saying, as a trained professional, seasoned veteran of the police department,
Yeah.
you too experience copophobia?
I was a victim of excessive force. If you type my name in, Juan Johnson versus Metropolitan Police Department, we literally was in district court. I sued the department for excessive force. Okay. And they settled back in 2007, 2008. But I sued them because I was mistaken for a drug boy.
But
They stopped.
hold on, brother Juan. The blue wall, back the blue. What happened to that? It just it don't apply to niggas. Well, hold on, help me. I'm trying to understand something. How can a brother in blue feel like he don't get his just due, or seen as equal to the rest of the flock? I'm not understanding here. Help me out, brother Juan.
The blue wall is an institution. It's not a person.
Mm, come on,
Say
come
this
on.
again. The blue wall is an institution. Okay. But the institution would sacrifice one to maintain the institution. Be very clear with that. Nobody is above the blue wall because that's an institution.
Hold on, spin that back. You said the institution will sacrifice one to keep the institution intact. Did you just say that?
Absolutely.
Elaborate on that, sir. Please. Please.
Everybody in law enforcement is expendable. Okay. Nobody is bigger than the institution. Nobody is bigger than the agency. And if they had to choose between a person and the agency, they will protect the agency. Okay. At the expense of the individual. See, people don't realize this. These are some dangerous. When you talk about law enforcement, many good dudes. And I'm thankful that I escaped it without getting killed, because quite a few dudes nationwide have gone against the system and they got killed. We had the brother out of Baltimore who was scheduled to testify against his team out of Baltimore. What's his name? Oh my God. I forgot his name, Baltimore, but he got taken out. And they still haven't found the killers. But if you're supposed to be with the protection plan and go to a grand jury and you out in them streets, uh, what's his name in Baltimore? Chef, type in let me type this guy, the Baltimore police officer got killed a couple years ago. I'm gonna get his name because I need to owe him that. Baltimore detective.
Now, how many years ago are we talking about? 11?
Nah, maybe about 6 years ago. Maybe about 10 years ago.
Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, again, while we are developing the program a little bit more here, definitely feel free to like, share, subscribe. Definitely like, share, subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Also, hit the notification bell. Don't hesitate to do that. Uh, this is a conversation that has been that doesn't get enough well, it isn't conducted as often as it should be.
Right.
And we have I know the question some may want to ask, brother Juan.
Sean Suter.
Interesting. There you go. Sean Suter.
He was about to testify against his fellow Baltimore cops, and he was killed. This is December 7th. They had a documentary coming out, came out 2 years ago. Sean Suiter was scheduled to testify against his co-workers. He was a detective, homicide. Okay. He got shot in the head the day before he was scheduled to testify in front of a federal grand jury.
And the killer hasn't been found, quote
Has not
unquote.
been found yet.
How do you say, I got that nigga out the way? Ain't nothing you can do about it.
I, I don't say, watch this. So when we talk about policing and taking a stand against forces on the department that basically they bring their prejudices with them. Okay. The police department is a microcosm of the greater society. Say this again. The police departments nationwide is a microcosm of the greater society. You have everything in the police department as you have in the greater society. You have racism. You got sexism. You got it all. You got betrayal. So with the Sean Suiter case, if you're scheduled to talk before the grand jury the day before he get killed, you're not supposed to be on them streets like that. You should be protected because you're going to talk against your old co-workers. And they still haven't solved his case yet. It's dangerous when you cross that line. The pressure is on you when you cross that line. Okay. And a lot of people, again, they don't know. So so watch this. We got guns. We don't have to go look for a gun. We got the gun on our hip. We're not like post office people who, have to go home and get their gun and shoot the place up. The guns are already here. If any officer want to go postal, he could, but he don't have to because he can take out his frustration on the citizens.
Come on.
Meaning, when you would give them a pass, if you had a bad encounter with a supervisor, you just say, I'm not giving nobody no cuts, no breaks. I'm locking everybody out. You want to keep the buck.
So they use citizens for stress relief, is what you're saying.
If you want to interpret it like that, here it is. If you the citizen did the crime, right, and you came across an officer who had a bad experience with another coworker, and maybe if they could have gave you some leniency, they won't do it because you know what? Hey, let me just take no prisoners out here right now, because my job is not taking no prisoners on me. It's a very interesting. It's a juggling act, bro. It really is. Because I can say I probably have been guilty of just I'm not going to block everybody out who broke the law. You ain't got you don't have to manufacture nothing. Folks break the law all the time. Where you would have gave leniency, you just you got to go. Come with me.
Well, let me ask you this, Brother Juan.
Go ahead.
Some would say, if you understood, you had a pretty good grasp of the institution, why stay involved with it as long as you have 27 years in that institution?
Because again, I made a vow to my brother, number one, that I would. So when he got killed in 93 and I became police in 94, I didn't think I would be on as long as I did. But at the same time, when people were saying we need more police officers in our neighborhoods, I saw it as a way to bridge the gap between the police and the Black community. Because again, if you send our faces out there, then there's a disconnect. You need folks who look like you per se, who can understand your plight, but that's not always the case. I stayed because I wanted to be an instrument for righteousness. I stayed because I wanted to make sure that there was that the people knew that there was someone out there who really cared. Now, mind you, now I took my role a little deeper than that. I became a pastor and a police officer at the same time. I was literally pastoring and patrolling on my beat. I would get off of work from doing 8 hours. I changed my clothes, put on me a black shirt, a cross, some fatigues, and some boots, and go right back out there in them streets. And was using the brother's church and would be speaking to the people, feeding them, you know, uh, uh, because we needed to see more examples of good in the community. And I did it for a couple of years. So, to answer your question, I did it because I love my people. Whether I receive the love back or not, you know, I love them, still do. But the question I asked them is, do you love yourselves? Because we're at a place right now where I'm not sure if they love themselves.
Hold on, let's go there. Hold on. Hold on. No, hey, don't just throw that out there now. Why would you say that, Brother Juan? Why Black America ain't got love for herself no more?
I don't know. I mean, love is about reciprocation. If when I say love, I'm saying a true, genuine concern for your well-being. I want what's best for you. I want you to do, I want you to achieve. I want you to have the best. I want to protect you. Because love, I would say that the proof of love is your willingness to protect somebody. If you're not willing to protect the person, you don't love that person.
Come on.
You protect
Okay.
those things you love.
Come on. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see the protection from some of our civil rights leaders, our preachers, and even police officers.
Mm. Go
If
with
we
it.
keep it buck. So I did it because there's a true love for my people, not just in policing or ministry, but as a black man. Look here, before I became the police, I was heavy in black studies, man. I used to hang out at the Blackburn, the Van Ness Center. I used to study under Dr. Jesse McDade out of Morgan State. He had a broadcast on 89.3 PFW called The Spear. Okay. I came under the Steve Coakley's. Jesse, we was in the study group reading notes from the African World Revolution, written by John Henry Clark. So before I came on, I was heavy into the black studies, man. Tom Porter, Ambrose Lane. Man, I can go back. Amos Wilson. I'm not talking about the popular names like the Farrakhan's, the Khalid Muhammad. I'm talking about some folks off the fringes, you know. And I sat under their teaching for years. Matter of fact, when I became the police, some of my closest friends were like, "What you doing, bro? Stop what we do." I said, "Bro, I'm doing this for my brother. I want to be an instrument for righteousness." You know. Although the police ain't killed my brother. My brother was killed by black folks.
Go there, Juan.
Go ahead.
No. Listen, listen, bro. I mean, listen. That's keeping it a buck, though.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Who just turned 18? He just turned 18. The brother killed my brother. So it wasn't. But I grew up seeing police officers in the state of Maryland prey on black people. Certain places you didn't go. You didn't mess with PG police, and you didn't go to Virginia. You didn't mess with the Virginia police officers. We stayed out of Virginia, and you didn't mess with PG County police officers. Coming out. You know, DC ain't had that. DC didn't have that reputation. If they did, I didn't know about it.
Well, I tell you what, brother Juan. We are for the police department to be an institution, right?
Right.
Would you still encourage young police officers, black American police officers, to join after getting an understanding of how the institution works? Would you encourage continued participation in the institution?
Yes, because we have to have our own representations out there, or you're going to have people who don't care about you lock you up. Because that's what we're headed for with this whole border piece. Deputizing these illegals to be police officers. And then they won't have no loyalty to nobody but to their own needs. So yes, to answer your question, yes, we need more black police officers nationwide if they can pass the test. I think that's why they legalize this weed, because look at the feds still, that's illegal. Now states may say you could, but you can't, can't have no weed in your system trying to be the police. You can't. So yes, we need more brothers and sisters becoming police officers.
That's interesting. That's it. And I understand the thought process behind that, brother Juan. I understand it because listen, you and I both know this is an army that they're importing.
Right?
This is an army of working age immigrants,
Yep.
males particularly, a lot of males, right?
Mhm.
And they're more inclined not to show compassion,
Oh yeah.
and so right now I understand that thought process. However, when well, my question would be to you, the alternative question would be, when these young police officers, male or female,
Mhm.
join black Americans, join the institution,
Right.
what would you encourage them to do upon getting in there? Because here's what I've seen a good amount of folks get in there and they think they can change it from the inside out.
Okay.
You individually, you're joining their institution. So you're talking about systems within the institution that are put there to deter you,
Mhm.
or to make you ineffective from even doing any of that, right?
Right.
What would be the new encouragement for or advice for new people coming into the institution, brother Juan?
I think if you're going to go in and you're new, you have to have a firm understanding of who you are and your people. You must know thyself. You have to know yourself. Because if you don't know yourself, you'll be caught up in the power and the authority and the lore that comes with this whole police piece. We used to say back in the day, there's three things you stay away from. Or there's three things that will get you fired, that get you hemmed up. And it's PMS, power, money, and sex. Okay. You already got the power. You'll come across a lot of money. And they will be throwing sex at you. But if you don't know yourself, if you don't have a firm grip of who you are, you will get caught up in there. Know yourself. meaning know who you are, know who your family is, know where your family's from. Put some respect on your ancestors. I think me taking part in the Black Study Unions back in the 80s and learning about Diob's, Dr. Clark's, the Malcolms, the Lumumbas, uh, just knowing my history, the culture, it prepared me for this because I didn't have a us against them mentality. It's easy to have a us against them mentality when you don't know who you are. And we're not getting that in our schools. We're not getting that education about who we are. We've allowed other people to tell our story. So if you're going to come on board in law enforcement, know who you are, know who your people are, know where you're from, so that when you decide to go out there and patrolling, you will exercise a little more patience with them, because it's not a us against them. It's I am my brother's keeper, and that's just not for policing. But when you have to enforce the law, you enforce the law. You make the arrest. Some people need to be arrested. Some people need to be off these streets, because at the end of the day, some people just, they are terrorists to the community. And you got to put them down or put them away or lock them up. But know yourself is very important, because the lore and what comes with it, the authority, the power, is I can't describe it. Well, I'll say this: the closest thing to being a white man is a police officer.
Come on. Now we getting real. Talk that talk. Come on.
Okay? Privileged, white, and you can almost take a life and just say, I fear for my life, and get off the hook. If we keep it 100, if this 2024 the year of exposed, let's expose it all. Let's just put it all on tape. Okay? So yeah, and I need y'all to share this video too.
Well,
Share.
brother Juan, let me ask you this question now.
Go ahead.
During your training, police training,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Were there historical figures that they made sure you guys were aware of, right? Like historical law figures that they wanted you to know about during your training to become a police officer.
Absolutely, positively not. No. Now they may have changed it since, but no. Look here, when you're in the academy, they're trying to get you to know how to police. They don't have time to give you a history lesson unless you go on a field trip to one of these museums. In the police academies, it's all about learning how to police. You need to learn the laws of arrest, search, and seizure, the codes for your state that you're in. You need to learn how to shoot. You need to learn some endurance. I mean, you need to learn. No, you don't really have the time to learn about historical people. They may have one of those people to come in and deal with equality, or what's that word we're looking for? Diversity training, something like that. But no, 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 no. We need to get you to. There's like there's a soldier culture that you must learn. It's like when you become a member of the armed forces, you got your boot camps. There's a soldier culture that it must instill in you, that even when you're gone, it can't be undone. Somebody who does boot camp for 90 days, you can't undo what they gone through. Somebody who does policing, you can't undo the training. That's your historical feat. That's your historical person. Put this training in them that they always have, that they can never undo, even when they retire. That's what you get.
That's interesting because I know what my training to become a chef there were these historical pillars of the industry that they made sure we knew about, right? They had these references. So I wanted to ask that question because I'm coming from a place like, okay, were these police departments even educating uh, our people on legendary law figures like Abbas Reeves, for example,
No,
right?
no.
Like
See,
the
watch this. There's no uniform code of policing. Here's
got
again.
you,
There's
got
no uniform code. So there's things that we all do as far as learning how to handcuff, which is can be disputed because the military handcuff different than the police. Shooting, okay, baton and OC, but there is no uniform standard because the training that the big city police get, the county may not get, and then some of your municipals may not get.
That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, keep going. Yes,
You know,
sir.
or even your city. So it all depends on the department who you're with and the training that they provide. But there again, but there's no uniform training.
I
Uh,
see. I
yeah,
see. So now you got me thinking because that's interesting. No, I as a I'm a civilian, right?
right.
So I like to get a peek behind that blue wall to see what it's about a little bit here. And to well, I think it was yesterday.
Right.
Uh, they just made it California leading a charge on giving illegal immigrants health aid.
Hmm.
So, but then also in New York, which I believe this article came out about 6 months ago,
Right.
where they're going to allow the illegals to police some of the New York citizens. Okay. How can you be a non citizen, but you can be an enforcer of the citizens? Like, could that not be considered as a treasonous act against the U.S., Brother Juan?
Well, I think it's more so states' rights. It's you got the federal laws, where you're supposed to be a U.S. citizen to be able to inherit some of these privileges that we have. Um, but again, we talk with these governors, and they need, here it is. So I want to say this thing right. Okay.
Come on, we keeping it 100, Brother Juan. Don't try to package it nice.
I'm not
Give
trying
it
to.
to him the real way. You understand?
I'm
Come
just
on.
I don't. Here it is. I don't. I'm not for you deputizing illegals because they don't. Number one, they don't have the loyalty. They haven't gone through the process. If they did, we wouldn't have to legalize illegals if they just did it the right way.
Come on. Come on.
Okay, so you talk about giving illegals the right to arrest citizens. That's a contradiction. Okay, and I would think that should be. I would even challenge that in the Supreme Court.
Come
How do you
on.
give?
Now we talking.
Because look here, how do you give somebody a right to have a gun and then not a citizen? You can't even have a gun if you're not a citizen. You need to be a citizen to be able to carry a gun. You need to go through the visa process and swear and become a citizen just to get the gun. But if you're going to legalize illegals to have guns and patrol, that's something more sinister to me.
Come on. 27 years, y'all. Y'all hearing it. Go with it, Brother Juan. Go with it.
More sinister because again, they are see these illegals will only have a alliance allegiance to the resources and to their collective, not to the citizens of the state of this country. That's something else, brother. That that's that speaks to that speaks to another type of army that's being utilized to enforce the laws against their own. And if I don't have no blood in the soil, ain't got no fat in the game, then there's nothing for me to lock you up because I'm exercising my right as a police officer given by the governor or the mayor or whoever giving them the authority. That's one of those all the war moves right there, because
There you
most
go.
Americans will have a problem in probably shooting another American. But if you an illegal, you ain't sworn, you're not gonna have no problem enforcing the law. Because I told you, when you got that gun and that badge on, that authority, you're like a centurion. The police departments are domestic warriors. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, they're foreign warriors.
Come on.
Okay. So police go to war every day. The military is waiting to be called on. So imagine giving power to an illegal against American citizens. They're not going to have no problem enforcing that on you or anybody else.
Hmm.
I think that's a problem.
Yes, sir, brother Juan. Yes, sir. And you know what, brother Juan? I'm gonna get ready to wrap it down, sir. But I want to say thank you for allowing me to interview you. I got this rolling live on my platform as well. We kind of eliminated some of the bells and whistles that I normally have. Uh, when I do a broadcast, because we're on yours right now. Lone Wolf Firearms Training, lwftraining.com. My good brother, colleague, certified warrior, Juan J. Johnson. Hit him up, ladies and gentlemen, for all your 2A needs, certifications. This man has the knowledge, the experience to get you taken care of. And brother Juan, I would say I don't see a better way to kick off, 2024, other than starting off with the getting people in the right mindset coming into this new year, because this is the year, brother Juan. This is going to be one hell of a year, election year, right? This is election year,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. So we're looking at a whole bunch of shit that's going to be coming our way, from propaganda to actual physical onslaughts geared
Confrontation.
toward us.
Yeah.
And we need to be prepared, ladies and gentlemen. So, brother Juan, let my viewers know how they can get a hold of you if they like to reach you in the future.
So you can go to lwftraining.com. That's lwftraining.com. Or you can, let me put my ticker in place, or you can go to longwoodfirearm@gmail.com if you want to reach me. Um, you can leave a message if you got a question, concerned. Again, if you need training and I'm not able to assist you, I can turn you on to folks who can assist you. My thing is just make the phone call, or better yet, just go to the website, lwftraining.com. Or again, you can go to longwoodfirearm@gmail.com. I'm on different platforms. You go to Longwood Firearms, you go to Juan J. Johnson. I got Making Dreams Come True, Real Talk. It's a couple of platforms you see me on. Just leave me a message, DM me, email me, and try to make sure you get what you need.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, also don't hesitate to hit this young man's PayPal. Okay. Don't hesitate to hit his Cash App either, ladies and gentlemen. $ Lone Wolf Firearm. $ Lone Wolf Firearms. PayPal me, Lone Wolf Firearm, lwftraining.com to hit him up on that PayPal. And also hit him on his email, lonewolffirearm@gmail. Any questions, of course, ladies and gentlemen. And also don't hesitate to subscribe to his platform. Subscribe, like, share. Subscribe, like, share. One more time, Dr. Umar. Subscribe, like, and share, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank my brother Juan for taking the time out to give us this exclusive coming into 2024. And ladies and gentlemen, I can always say, listen, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You understand? And with that being said, Brother Juan, thank you, sir. Take us on out. Any last words? We can shut it down.
I am hoping that this conversation gave you a glimpse into who I am or a part of who I am. Law enforcement is what I did. Firearms is what I do, but it's not who I am. I'm so much more than that. Um, but I'm thankful to be before you today, just to share. Um, I don't want this broadcast to scare you. I want to inform you. I don't want you to walk around in fear. I want you to walk around in faith. Okay, at the end of the day, I was given these words from my creator as I was meditating that the proof of love is the willingness to protect. And I can't prove I love you if I'm not willing to protect you. So my perspective on these whole gun piece is this. It's about protection. If I say I love you, I want to protect you. Okay? And if a person I want to protect you, they don't love you. Just that simple. And we've been around a lot of people that we've loved, that we respected, that we've given our seal upon. Preachers, some preachers, civil rights leaders, politicians, and they haven't reciprocated. They've taken our love, they've taken our compassion, they've taken our trust, and they've been practicing benign neglect upon us. They got to stop. So I do this whole gun piece because I love you. I want the best for you. I want you to protect yourselves. At the end of the day, nobody's going to be crying about our deaths if something happens to us. They will walk over our carcasses. Okay? I just want you to exercise your 2A rights as a responsible American citizen, as a responsible Black American, or whatever your nationality is. I want you to exercise your 2A. It's just that serious. We are in dangerous times. We got 2 wars that we're financing, and we got a war at the border, and something's going to give. So you make sure that you're protected, and don't be doing these gun buybacks.
Yes. Better watch a gun buyback. You don't need a scholarship that bad. You need to protect. Listen, and you can get the scholarship later if you're here because you protected yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Brother Juan, I appreciate you again, sir, and I'll be catching you on the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to Brother Juan J. Johnson, Lone Wolf Firearms. We'll see y'all on the flip side.
All right, now. Thank you, Brother Chef. I'll see you soon. And for those who are watching on my end, I'm going to stay up for a couple more seconds, but look, I need you to go to on the next broadcast, bloodlinestv.com. I need you to support my Brother Chef. See, again, if you're still tuned in, I still see some people. I can't see everybody. I see your cuz. I see my uncle. I see Deborah. She's still here. I mean, we've been talking for a long time. And again, I think this is a good interview. You saw, you got a glimpse into how I think and how I process and what I believe. Um, But I'm so much more than a gun piece, y'all. I'm really so much more than a gun piece. Uh, uh, but I do want you guys to protect yourselves. I do want you to protect yourselves. Whether you come through Lone Wolf Firearms Training or lwtraining.com, go to somebody. Go to somebody and get some training. Get you a firearm. Protect yourself, protect your family. You may have to protect the community, the country, and you may have to protect the nation. But I need you to be serious about becoming responsible gun owners, gun users. Okay. Again, we've been on almost 2 hours. So again, I need you to like this video. I need you to share it. Um, I need you to subscribe to the channel and keep on sharing. If you learned anything tonight, you got something from this video, I need you to share it. It doesn't cost you nothing to share this video. 2024 is going to be an amazing year. I'm looking forward to it. I may not be, so watch this. As much as I'm pushing this gun piece, I'm gonna push it. I gotta show you another side of me too. Because I need you to get these resources. I need you to have a closer relationship with God. And I can't separate the guns from God or God from the guns. I can't. When I say guns or weapons, I think about the first weapon that was mentioned in the scriptures when God put a sword in the garden to keep man, the male and female, from coming back to the tree. So you just knew that the man was going to create a sword or a gun because the first weapon mentioned was that flaming sword. So again, I need you to become responsible gun owners, gun users. I need you to support this channel. Uh, and I need you to know that this is not about fear. It's all about faith. Again, the proof of love is the willingness to protect. Okay. So again, uh, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I see you, Bishop Eggleston's in the house. I see my cousin Vita is in the house. I'm only saying some names. I see my Uncle William Johnson and Deborah. That's all I see right now. But if you're still in Teresa Banks, I saw you said something earlier. But again, I need you to share this video. Again, you're gonna see me moving from the gun piece. I've been talking about guns for the last 10 years. That's a decade. And I had to move the conversation. But I was on my man's platform today, so I still was talking about it. But I'm about to move the conversation to some other things that I think is important outside of the gun piece. So I'm looking forward to this being a very explosive, productive, wealthy, successful year. And I'm hoping I can share with you some of my secrets to being the best that you can be, to doing the things you want to do, and to possibly having those things you want to have. Again, this is a good year. It's going to be a great year for a lot of us. In spite of what's going on in politics, this is going to be an amazing year if you stay focused. Okay. So with that said, I want to thank you for tuning in. You can be anywhere else, but you're here. And on this second day of January 2024, I want you healthy. I want you happy. I want you to find love. I want you to find success. I want you to be prosperous. I want you to have all the resources you need for your next assignment, for your next level. I want you to be able to recognize the resources when you have them in your face. It's one thing to want the resources, but can you identify the resources when it's right there? And I want you to have unlimited money. Unlimited money. And when I say money, I'm just not talking about the green or the coins. I'm talking about something far deeper. I'm talking about the vibration of money, the unlimited feeling of money. that wherever you go, you're able to get what you need. That and it pop up. Okay. I also want you to know this, family. It's not how much you know, it's how much you care. At the end of the day, a lot of people know a lot of things, they don't care. And I think I've proven you that I care. I do. I care. So on my 55th year on this earth, celebrating on 12/29, I'm looking forward to this year of abundance, of breakthrough. And what I want for myself, I want for you. You can get some guns on that too. You can get some guns in the process. So with that said, have a blessed, 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 prosperous day. Know this again, there is a lone wolf in you. And it's my job to bring him out. I'm gonna bring him out. Okay. But we're gonna talk about other things this year outside the guns. With that said, have a great day. I will see you on these social media streets, and I will see you in person very soon. Thank you for tuning in.